Hello friends, welcome back. We are doing something new today. I was thinking how I can give you my final thoughts about the products I'm using, the products I've used before, those products that we had some first impressions. So we are gonna have a new series in this channel. I don't know what I'm gonna name it yet, but these videos basically are trying out things that are not new, things that I have used for years, I have used before, I have forgotten about them, or things that I think the color does not suit me and I want to declutter them or give them to friends and family so that they don't go bad and somebody else can use them. I will give you the reason why I'm decluttering them, and if I'm not, what is the reason. And I might keep some products just because of my channel. I know everyone loves seeing videos about new makeup, but these kinds of videos always interest me a lot because I can know the final thoughts of the person who have used them for a while. For foundation, I'm gonna actually use the Saie Slip Tint. This is one that I really like. This is a mineral SPF, broad spectrum SPF 35. It is a tinted moisturizer and it has 15% zinc oxide. It says it expires in April 2026. So I have less than a year to finish this up, and if I don't want to finish it up, I can give it to someone that I know they're gonna use it. This is shade 3. I have used it quite a bit before. This is a very lightweight and glowy skin tint. It is a lovely skin tint. I think it was in my first video. I talked about this as a top layer for your sunscreen routine as a foundation. So if you apply sunscreen underneath and apply this on top, you will be covered. I don't know if I would use this as my main moisturizer because it is a little bit greasy to be a main moisturizer. I'm gonna use the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe brush. This is the travel size I have here. I have my full skincare on. This tinted moisturizer is a lovely texture, but it is a tinted moisturizer, so you have to remember that. This doesn't give you a lot of coverage. I'm gonna apply another layer. You can see this is very glowy. This is perfect for those times of the year that I get a lot of dry patches. For example, in winter, when I'm using my tretinoin, my skin goes through a lot and it needs a lot of hydration, which is the time I mostly use this one. Shade 3 is more of a neutral tone shade, which I like in a skin tint. This is the Slip Tint. I'm sure you have seen a million reviews of this one. This is a gorgeous foundation. I am definitely going to keep this one. And this is great for travel too, because it is a consistency that is not too drying and it feels like a moisturizer. When I'm traveling, I get a lot of dry patches. My skin gets super dry. And things like this help me keep my skin moisturized and wear makeup at the same time. I mean, this is a tinted moisturizer. It's not gonna have a lasting power, but I don't care. I just care that my makeup wears off gracefully, which it does with this one. If you have the Jones Road tinted moisturizer and if you are wondering if they are the same, I feel like this one is less emollient. That one is a little bit too emollient for my skin, even for my skin, my super dry skin. I have to try that one when my skin is super dry to see if that one works for those times, but I like the Saie Slip Tint better. You might be surprised about the next product. It is the Westman Atelier concealer. I have the shade L3. This is a favorite concealer of so many people. I liked this when I used it for a couple of times, but then we got into winter, my skin got super dry, and whenever I would use this one, my under eyes would look very dry because this is a full coverage concealer for me. So I put it aside, but now that it is warmer outside, I want to try it again, especially since this is a very long wearing concealer on me. This is the swatch. This is a perfect color for my under eyes. If I want to use it for my full face, I have to go one shade up, which I believe it is M1. I don't remember if I like this one applying to the back of my hand or to under my eyes. This doesn't look bad. Let me apply it to the back of my hand and then apply it to my face. And something that I've noticed with this concealer, it does oxidize. I don't know if you can see. This is the one that I applied 2 minutes ago. This is the new concealer that I applied, like new from the bottle. This might be a little bit too dark for winter for me. That might have been another reason that I didn't absolutely love it. This is looking good. I like the eye that I apply to the back of my hand. And this is not a creaseless concealer. You have to set this one. I've noticed this before as well. It used to look a little bit cakier on me. And that is probably because what I talked about, the dryness under my eyes in winter. This is the concealer now. I guess this is a keep too. That Saie Slip Tint was a little bit light for this time of the year, but this concealer is a great shade match for my summer, which is good. The Saie one, I only like to use these kinds of products in winter, and this is a full coverage concealer, which I only can use in summer, so this works out. For my powder, which I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep it, but we are gonna try it. This powder, when I was picking it up, I was between 2 and 3, and I unfortunately decided on 3 and paid a lot of money for it. But then it came in the mail and it was too dark for my skin tone all over the year. But now that my skin tone has a little bit more color in it, I think it's gonna work better. This is the Sisley Phyto-Poudre Compacte. This is a gorgeous powder, very expensive. For some reason, after you use it a couple of times, it gets like these dots in it, which I believe it is because of the formula and oils in it, but it doesn't affect the consistency and it looks gorgeous on the skin. This is the powder. You see how glowy and beautiful it is? It is super lightweight and it has some glow to it as well. I love this powder. I just wish it was lighter so that I could use it all over the year and I could use it under my eyes. For the powder under my eyes, I've been really liking the Anastasia concealer brush. This is also very good for concealer, but I really like it for powder as well. I'm gonna show you this powder and how dark it is for under my eyes. Do you see it got rid of all of that brightness? Which I'm not mad about it because I have so much darkness under my eyes. It is not bad to use a powder that is my skin tone, but it gets rid of all of that brightness. But at the same time, I like this powder more as an all over the face powder than for my under eyes. It doesn't look bad under the eyes, you can see, it looks very smooth. But it is a powder, it is a tinted powder and those tend to be a little bit more obvious under the eyes, but they look better all over the face. I usually prefer loose powders under my eyes because they are more thin and lightweight. They don't show up too much under the eyes. For all over my face, I'm gonna use BK Beauty 102. This is a big fluffy brush. I think this is a perfect match for this Saie skin tint or tinted moisturizer. It sets it well but doesn't take away the shine or glow from the slip tint. With this powder you have to be very careful to use a little bit, and if you use a little bit, it honestly looks gorgeous. But I have to say, I don't know if Sisley products are worth the price. I feel like they are unreasonably overpriced. They are good products, but you can find good products with like half the price. Next product, which you have seen me use in my full face of Lancôme, is this powder bronzer, which is called CE Skin Transforming Bronzer. I have the shade 2 Light. Shade 1 is too light for me. Shade 2 is actually a good depth-wise shade for me, but the undertone is too warm for me. And last time I've used this was in winter. So now I want to try it out again and see if I still feel like it is too orange for me. I usually wear my warmer bronzers in summer and they usually work out for me. So we are going to try it now. I want to see if I use a little bit, I can work this out because this is a beautiful powder. This powder is one of the softest powders I have ever felt. It doesn't give you a hard pan. You see, it is very different now that I am darker than what it was in winter. If you go see that video, you'll see what I'm talking about. It literally looked orange in that video. It looks a lot better now. This is one of those bronzers that I have to be careful using it on my forehead, and I have to make sure that I get into my hairline. Otherwise, you see the difference? Because it is a warmer skin tone than mine, I am more like yellow olive toned. You can see the difference, and now you can see my face is a lot darker than my body. But it doesn't look as bad as before. It looked really orange in that Lancôme video. I feel like with bronzers, what actually shows up more is the skin tone rather than the darkness of the bronzer. With darker bronzers, you can blend them out, carefully blend them out and get a good color. But with bronzers that are different skin tones, there is nothing that you can do about. A brow gel that I think I'm gonna let go of, or I'm gonna keep it only for my hair, is gonna be the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze Gel. If you have watched my videos before, you know that this is my all-time favorite brow gel. Nothing compares to this brow gel. I have used a lot of brow gels, drugstore, mid-range, luxury. I have used everything. Nothing compares to the ABH brow gel, not even the Benefit one. This is the one that has a regular spoolie. And again, if you have watched my videos before, in brow gels, I prefer a regular spoolie. In mascaras, I prefer silicone or plastic spoolie. And this one, the Brow Freeze, unfortunately has a plastic or silicone spoolie, and this looks almost identical to the Benefit one. But that is not the only reason that I don't like this brow gel. It is probably very hard to see, but you see how gooey this brow gel is? This is more of a laminating brow gel, I believe. I have to apply it very fast, and after one layer, I cannot go back. This is very thick. I like my brow gels to be a bit thinner. If you are a fan of laminated brow gels, you actually might like this one. But again, I have mentioned this before, I don't like a laminated brow. If you have less brows than I do, this might actually not be a bad product for you. I don't hate it, but I don't love it as much as I love my ABH brow gel. I have tried it on my hair before. It shows up as the same consistency. It is very gooey, but for those days that I just want to hide my flyaways for like 1 or 2 hours, or I'm filming and I want to put my hair back, I can use this, but I will never rebuy this one. This one, the Brow Freeze, after a couple of hours, it starts to get like crusty, and if you touch your brows by accident, it's gonna flake, it's gonna look white, and the only way you have is just use a spoolie and brush it off and take all those flakiness off of your brows. Otherwise, you're gonna have white stuff in your brows whole day. Next two products, I'm just gonna mention them. I'm not gonna use them simply because I have a full review of these two compared to the new ones, and I also have a review of Dior Beauty. You can go watch those. I have talked about their blushes. These are the Backstage blushes, the old formula, and I talked about these in that video, and I told you guys that I like the consistency of the old ones better. The new ones, I don't like them. They are fine powders, but I feel like they have too much oil in them. Like, they feel oily, so they are harder to blend, and they are too saturated. This is one shade that I have from them, which is called Candy. This is the shade that I didn't like. I also have Rose Glow in the newer version and in the old version. Even though this gets hard pan a lot, I like this one better than the new one, and the new one is also a lot pinker than this one. This is more muted, more mauvey. And I also have the limited edition one, which was the Bronzed Glow. I think this was a limited edition one, which is more like a bronzer and not for my skin tone, but because I loved it, I kept it. And this has a smell to it too, but I feel like they are going bad in my collection. I'm gonna swatch the two old versions for you. See here. You'll have to keep cleaning up the hard pan with a tape, but I didn't mind that. I actually like this powder blush. The rosewood in this one is a lot mauvier, and this is the Bronze Glow. They are good blushes, but not my absolute favorites. I talked about this in my Dior review. I like the regular Dior line better than the Backstage. Second reason is that these are discontinued now, so I cannot even show it in my videos. I cannot even use them as much as I did before. So because of those two reasons, I'm gonna let go of these two blushes. And I'm also gonna let Candy go from the new line. I also talked about this in my video about got these Dior blushes. This might look good in camera, but this is the NARS Orgasm blush, but it has a lot of gold glitter in it. The NARS Orgasm blush is a lot more subtle than this, and I didn't even like the NARS Orgasm blush. And I hated this blush from the second I opened it up. I am sure a lot of people like these kinds of colors. The colors that are pink and have gold shimmer in them don't look good on me, and shimmery blushes in general make my pores look more obvious. And if they have glitter in them, that is even worse. I don't want to keep it in my collection because I know I'm not going to use it and it's going to go bad. The only reason I pick up these kinds of things is to review for you guys. That is the only reason I picked this one up. I knew I'm not gonna like the color and the shimmers and everything else. Another powder that has a pink undertone but it has gold shimmer is this one from Pat McGrath. It is called Divine Blush in Nymphet, I believe. First of all, Pat McGrath blushes are my absolute favorite. I used to have all the shades, but I was worried that they're gonna go bad, so I gave some of them to friends and family, and I only kept 4, I believe. From those 4, one of them was this one, which is Nymphet. In my opinion, if you're gonna do a pink blush with gold shimmer, this is how it is done. You see how subtle that is? There is no obvious glitter. The gold shimmers aren't overpowering the color. But I know that I'm not gonna use this one, and if I'm gonna go towards my Pat McGrath blushes, Flirtatious, Divine Rose, and colors like that are the ones that I'm gonna grab first, and this is gonna go bad. This is a beautiful blush, and I'm sure somebody else is gonna use it and be happy with it. I don't want it to stay in my collection and not be appreciated. I'm gonna use BK Beauty 103 again. You will see this is a beautiful blush. Did you see how gorgeous that is? You can see yourself. This is very smooth, very beautiful on my skin tone. Those glowy shimmers don't show up too much on my skin. It is a beautiful blush. The next product is a very interesting product. This is the Danessa Myricks Dew Wet Balm in the shade Clear. This is a beautiful highlighter or gloss to use on top of your makeup, even on your eyes. These look really good, but the problem is that I don't pick it up ever from my collection. The thing that I use this one most for is when I have a lot of dry patches and I use a foundation that is a little bit too dry, or it is showing up my dry patches. I use this one and I go on top of my dry patches and I apply a little bit with my fingers, and it makes the dry patches look a lot smoother. But it also looks really good as a highlighter, as a very natural highlighter. This has no glitter in it. There are shades in this one that have glitter in them. You can also use those, but this one is a clear one and it is my favorite. You see, it is very glowy. But using it as a highlighter is more like for an editorial look. But at the same time, I don't know anyone who might use this one. So I honestly thought this is expired, but it doesn't smell like anything. And the top layer is completely clean. This is the consistency. Let me apply it on top of the blush on my hand. I applied it on top of Nymphet. You see how beautiful this is? I think I'm gonna keep this one because first of all, it is not expired. Second, I don't know anyone who would use this one, like a person who does editorial makeup. This also helps a lot with those smile lines. The crow's feet. When you apply it to this area, those crow's feet don't show up too much because first of all, they are moisturized. Second of all, the light that hits the skin is reflected, so you don't see those imperfections too much. It basically feels like you are using Vaseline on top of your foundation. I think you can even use this on your lips. I don't know if you're allowed to. This says face and body balm. It doesn't say anything about not use it on your lips, but if you want to use it on your lips, please look it up first, then use it. It feels a little bit more lightweight than Vaseline. So if you want to use Vaseline on top of your face and when you put it on, you feel like it is heavy, this is actually a great alternative because I don't feel it on my cheeks at all. And on my lips, it is a lot more lightweight and Most importantly, it doesn't taste like Vaseline. I hate the taste of Vaseline. Next product is the Ritual de Fille Ash and Emer eye suits. I love these, but my problem with these products is that they are a bit drier than I like. And these two colors are not my colors. I should have picked up the color. I don't remember the name, but there is a color that is like between these two and it is lighter. That color is a perfect one and done eyeshadow. But every time I looked it up when I was picking these two up, that color was out of stock. So I decided to pick these two up. These are a little bit too dark to be a one and done eyeshadow for me. And this was the purpose that I wanted these. These are the two colors. They are basically the same color. One is like more purple, the other one is a bit more like brownish. Top one is Serpent de Mer. Bottom one is Mineralia, which is a new color. Not like very new, but when I was buying this was just launched, which is more browny. Serpent de Mer is more like cool toned. I'm gonna use Serpent de Mer on this side. This is actually a Real Techniques brush. I really like this brush for my one and done eyeshadows. You see, this is a beautiful eyeshadow and this is right up my alley because it is cool toned. But because it is very dark and very dry, it is a little bit hard to work with. I usually prefer to pick up a lighter color that I can just apply and not worry about, so that I don't have to blend it out like what I did here and then clean it up. Or at least I don't have to do too much cleaning up. This is a beautiful color, but it is messy. You see, it got everywhere. These kinds of colors don't show up really well in camera, but in real life, when you look at your eyes, they look super smooth and super beautiful. The result is good. The problem is that when I'm using a one and done eyeshadow, the reason I'm using it is because I want to be pretty quick and get out of the house. But this doesn't let me do that. I think I have to go back with concealer. And that happens every time. Every time I use this, I have to go back with concealer. But that one shade that I don't remember the name, I will put it in the description box. That one shade I think is gonna be a good one and done shade because it is closer to my skin tone and I can blend it out a lot easier. Brush is clean. That was Serpent de Mer. This is Millennial. I'm gonna pick up a little bit less so that it is easier to blend out. That's another thing. If you don't pick up too much, it is easier to blend out, but then you don't get the full payoff and the full beauty of these eyeshadows. And this is not what I want when I want a one and done eyeshadow. This is a lot more work. You have to build it up little by little. I have a lot of darker colors that I use them as one and done eyeshadows and I don't have any problem. These have a very specific texture to them, which I think makes them a lot more long lasting than any other one and done eyeshadow. I might do a full face of Ritual de Fille at some point. So I'm gonna keep at least one of these because they are very expensive if I want to do a full face of Ritual de Fille. I don't want to spend more on these eyeshadows. I might pick up that one color, but I want to have colors to show you and to compare them for you. So I might keep these for that purpose. But if I'm gonna do a Ritual de Fille full face, I will probably pick up that color that I liked, that was lighter than these two. Another thing that I have to tell you is that don't assume these are cream products and they don't have fallout. They actually do. I could go darker with the Millennia shade. I just wanted you to see the different ways you can apply these. I do like these eye looks, but I have to use them specifically when I have enough time to blend them out and everything. And since these are very expensive and I'm gonna do a review of the brand at some point, I'm gonna keep these two. This mascara is so flaky. It gets everywhere on my face by the end of the day. And it is very thick and this fully is not something that I like. This is not a good mascara for me at all. This one is basically just volume. It doesn't give you much length. And I have to say, even though I don't like the spoolie, this is not a bad regular spoolie. I would have kept this one for a full face of Rare Beauty if this didn't smudge on me and if it didn't flake. There isn't too much smudging happening with this one. There is a little bit. My main problem is the flaking. It flakes all over my face, even while I'm applying the mascara. And I didn't even apply 2 coats. If I apply 2 coats, the second coat will cause a lot of flakes all over my face. In my video that I did about Glossier makeup, I talked about Generation G lipsticks. I used to love these lipsticks. I had shades, Malt Fuzz, and a lot of other shades in my collection. But unfortunately, when I picked up a new shade, which is called Jam, I think the consistency has changed. Either it is that or my lipstick, the one that I received, was like a bad quality. This lipstick is so patchy and it has a lot of small dots in it. Guys, it even smells bad. Did Glossier give me an expired product? It smells rancid. I'm not gonna put this one on my lips. So I think the reason this wasn't applying properly and it had all of those things in it is because this is expired. I have had these for a long time. They don't smell like this one. I'm not even gonna put this on my lips. This is the Glossier Generation G lipstick, one of the new ones in the color Jam. But the 2 Malt and Fuzz colors are gonna stay with me for as long as they aren't expired. A lip liner that I want to let go, which I recently used it again in a full face of Tower 28. I think that video is a short video. It will come up soon. This is the Tower 28 multi-liner in the color Work of Art. These lip liners are great lip liners. My problem with this color is that it is a bit too warm. Even though in the swatch it doesn't show up too warm, it is more like a neutral shade. On my skin tone, it looks very warm. But these are great quality lip liners. I do like the quality of this lip liner. It is not very emollient. It is not very dry. It is a good in-between consistency. It lasts on your lips for a good amount of time. The only reason I'm gonna let this one go is because this is not a good color for me. When I use it alone, it looks not too bad. But as soon as I add anything on top, it looks weird. This washes me off when I use it all over my lips without anything else. Alright, this is the final makeup look. I hope you enjoyed this look. Please let me know if you like these kinds of videos, if you like for me to go over the products that I have used before and let you know if I'm keeping them in my collection, if I'm letting them go, what are my final thoughts after I have used them. I am thinking about doing some videos that I go back to my other videos and I give you speed reviews. Like I did a full face of Sarah Creole, I did a full face of Farah Hamidi and things like that. I wanna do updated videos of those and give you my final thoughts about all the products that I have used. So if those kinds of videos interest you, let me know in the comments section and I will do that. And with that, we are at the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It helps me tremendously. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you in my next video. Bye.